Hello, this is Joe. I've got the gas cap and the filler neck for the W.A.R Corsair. I spent a little time. I borrowed a little lathe and I trimmed off some of this so that this ring has an interference fit of about 1/2 thousandths of an inch, so 5/10,000ths roughly. And I'm about to go and put this in oven and put this side in the refrigerator and see if I can get it to drop in on top of it. I'll show you what happens at the other side. All right, fresh out of the oven and the refrigerator. I stuck these screws in there, chilled down the bottom, heated up the top to 375, and no longer interference fit, slipped right down on top of it. Don't know if it leaks yet, so I got to check it. But I put all these screws in there because I didn't know if they would come out, and they just barely come out because I broke that radius right there, hoping that they would come out. And sure enough, it works. So kind of got lucky on the size. Now I'll put it on the tank and leak check it. On to the next thing. All right, Joe here. Update on my W.A.R Corsair. So I've done a couple things on the interior and a couple things on the exterior. I painted some of that baby blue, sanded it off, basically the house paint, put on some primer and the epoxy paint, and repainted the side. I like the color better. And the tail surfaces also got painted with a slightly darker blue epoxy paint. Also did some interior work. So let's see. You can see these guides and runners made out of nylon, and the cowling opens a lot easier. Of course, there it sticks on me. On the inside, I got that retract mechanism set up in there, all connected. You can see I'm starting to put together a boot for that. I'm probably going to put some snaps on the sides. And it may not. It's close to big enough. I just bought one off of Amazon to see if I could make it work. It's just about big enough. I'll put the snaps in it and see if it works. Also, I put some Gorilla Glued some foam in here. I'll put a little thin layer of fiberglass over there to hold it. Same on this side. Did that. And seatbelt retaining brackets, put those in. I haven't got the belts in yet. This cable is for the antenna for the radio, and the antenna, it appears when you look inside that there's a ground plane here, and I'm presuming that the antenna goes up along here. And since I don't see any other place for it, and you want it kind of perpendicular to your ground plane, so ground plane was just about from back here all the way to up here. Give you a little insight into the landing gear retract mechanism. You can see that universal joint. Maybe you can see it. Not sure. Not sure if you can see it. Get you closer. Yeah. And you can see this connection shaft, which I haven't drilled the holes in that side yet. But if we go to the other side, this side is all connected up. Right. And then this shows you how the plans show the retract mechanism. A little half-inch pitch, correction, quarter-inch pitch chain right here, and gosh, what is that, a 20 or 25 tooth? And then that one's also a 25 tooth down in there. So that's how the manual retract mechanism is supposed to be set up, and then you just crank it. Let's see. Oh yeah, the fuel tank. So happy to get that done. So if you look at this, you can see that it fits pretty good. I like the way it fits there. Seals up, clamps down, and I did take this off, set my air compressor to 5 psi and put air pressure on here, sprayed this all with soap, and of course this is a vented tank, so it just was venting the pressure out fairly quickly here. But when I sprayed it with soap, I wasn't getting anything around here, and definitely a bunch out of here. So at that low pressures, which is what I would get anyway with a vented tank, I didn't get any leakage on this tolerance fit. I wound up going with 1/2 of a thousandth, so 5/10,000ths of an interference fit. So this piece was larger. I'm sorry, this piece was larger than this piece, and I shrunk fitted on there. I was toying with the idea of putting some kind of a sealant between the two, but being that it's an interference fit and it would be such pressure on them when they're together, that I was suspecting that it wouldn't leak. If I do wind up finding that there's for some reason some leakage, which I can't even imagine, but if there is, I'll wind up either hiring somebody maybe to TIG weld the outside, or maybe just put some sealant in there. I could, if I needed to, always just turn this and cut it off of the base and then try again, maybe put some Loctite or some other kind of sealant in between. But I think it's just fine, and I think it'll stay fine, and we'll see. So let's see, I'll show you how that tank cover goes on. So I had to, hopefully you can see that, had to cut this out, so I just took a 3-inch hole saw, cut it out, smoothed it, and there it is. All done with the sealed tank. Finally. Took me forever to get this done. It's a little bit annoying how slow everything goes, but like everything, you just have to spend the time. So I think next I'm going to replace this battery. I bought a lithium battery, lightweight, 700 cranking amps, 3 pounds, 15.1 ounces. That should shave a little bit of weight off of the plane. And this is the seatbelt that I took out of it. It's a super heavy duty racing harness, and heavy. This is almost 4 pounds by itself. The thing about this is the structure that this is attached to is much, much weaker than this, like by multiple factors of weakness. So I'm going to put a standard aircraft seatbelt in there, and frankly I wouldn't mind having a tiny bit of give on the seatbelts if I were in an accident, instead of just that super strong, you know, jar you to the bones. I'd rather have a little bit of give in a seatbelt, if it comes to that. Hopefully we'll never find out. Let's see. So the battery, the tank, the do a little fiberglass work. Oh yeah, I still have yet to get this fiberglassed in. Working on that next. Right there is the outside air temperature probe. I'm debating whether I put it in the right place or not. You get a little bit, there's a chance that you'll get a little bit of heat off the engine. I guess I'll have to watch out for that. Or I could just move it outboard here somewhere. There's plenty of access behind here. I could do that. And I still have yet to move the brake line. Right now the brake line is still in the way of the retract mechanism, so I can't retract them all the way. I gotta do that. Okay. You probably noticed that I took the rudder off, and I took it off so that I could get some paint back in here. You know, put the rudder back on. You probably noticed that without the rudder. But yeah, still not super thrilled about the quality of the paint that was on there. I looked at the can. It says latex exterior house paint, high build. So yeah, that's why it was just flaking off in the on the leading edges. All right, that's going to do it for this update. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate the comments. Please keep them coming. I enjoy having a discussion with people about the plane and their thoughts, and appreciate all the good ideas I've gotten. So take care. This is Joe. Bye. Okay, one more thing. I forgot to show you the color on the underside of the wings and where I did the body work. And it's okay. You know, I'm not the best painter or the best bodywork guy, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. All right, till next time. Bye.